My congratulations to all the participants of the World Forum for Ethics in Business. Business and spirituality are today inevitable partners to have a happy society and happy life. Spirituality provides the inner strength that is most needed to keep moving in difficult times. So I once again thank all the participants and congratulate you all for taking your time off and participating and rethinking capitalism, which is absolutely essential in today's economy. Thank you.
Since 2006, the World Forum for Ethics in Business has taken place in the European Parliament in Brussels. The WFEB 2012 brought together participants from more than 30 countries.
How can we work towards increasing our global impact as a community which believes in the importance of ethics? Of course, ethics, I always believe, is not in a office cubicle, it's not in a compliance program, it is within me. So what can I do as an individual? How can I take that step?
The main topic of the 2012 forum was Rethinking Capitalism, a value-based approach to capitalism.
We have been trapped in a traditional capitalist model that views that businesses should only focus on maximizing short-term profits and ignore major societal problems. And then we have this thing called corporate social responsibility, which, to be provocative and blunt, has become an add-on, peripheral thing that firms do to address reputational issues. And social value is not at the core.
Capitalism, as we knew before 2008, does not exist anymore. In a time where almost on a weekly basis we read about banks and corporations to be bailed out, and soon later we learn that now these governments, which just bailed out the banks, need to be rescued. It is time to rethink, because if we just do the same thing, we might get exactly the same results.
We have built ourselves a system that values greed. Greed for money, greed for status, greed for power, a system that all too often rewards success at any cost.
We would change this by having a new paradigm for capitalism where firms produce economic value by addressing social problems.
Words are so easy. We can blah blah our way throughout the whole day. But nothing will change unless we have actions.
The main keys of this forum were to increase global awareness of ethics in business, how to facilitate sharing of global practices, how is it possible to enable and support leaders to act ethically, and how to form coalitions for collective actions.
So I think one of the biggest challenges facing society is the issue of trust. And the forum provides a wonderful platform to engage all the actors and to say to them, it's not good enough to keep saying we have a problem. What we need is concrete solutions.
We should really put as target of all political, influential and business people to maintain and develop the quality of life of citizens. The main target to say this government is successful or this system is successful or European Union is successful is what is happening to quality of life.
We must build our life, our activities on all three pillars. Ethics, education, you are doing something like that here in this seminar, and control. Only then we will avoid the catastrophe caused by human greed, and you will succeed in making business a game with rules and not a jungle with monsters.
I always say to my friends in the business sector, please don't limit yourself to limiting to the basic standards, because basic standards are very often not good enough and not making a real difference. Take the high ground. It will be good for your company, good for your business, and good for your soul as well.
Over the past few years, close to 5,000 leaders from all over the world, across all sections of society, had the opportunity to participate in the forum in various ways to make their voices heard.
I think it is also time to think beyond the notion of democracy and also beyond the notion of capitalism. I think in some sense we are heading towards a notion of a one world family.
During the forum, particular attention was given to an active communication through the large number of workshops.
The idea was for us to come together as a community and essentially measure ethics. How do you measure ethical behavior? So develop an index was one of the suggestions. Promote ways of interaction and execute. Really provide tools and techniques to make things happen.
The main topics of the workshops were leadership education, integrity and ethics in the workplace, as well as open governance.
The openness of basic information about companies, who they are, who owns them, where they're located, who is on the board, is very important. Not only for governance issues, but also for companies themselves to know who they are dealing with within their supply chain.
We should assign a company ambassador between NGOs and companies, and if at all possible between policymakers, in order to facilitate the dialogue around ethics or anti-corruption measures. Dialogue is a key.
This year, the WFEB gathered 18 young people from 11 countries to create an open platform for the youth to voice their message to the world.
Young people have got a lot to say, and we should listen to what they have to say. It's important for this listening to take place in both directions.
As many of the speakers today have suggested, the only way to really have an impact is to formulate a number of direct practical actions to be taken in the short to middle term. I can assure you, no group of people is more aware of this than the younger generation, as it is us who will need to implement these changes.
We would like to take this opportunity to thank the generation sitting in front of us for the computer, the mobile phone, and many more inventions that have made life simple. But it would be great if you could tell us, how many jobs has that created in the Western Hemisphere? Not many, because God made man and everything else is made in China.
We want to convince young people that ethical leadership is the only way that we can create a sustainable future.
We are going to a different age. We are going to a different time. Still ruled by old people, like my age, but going to a different world. And that is a bridge we have to build.
The annual Ethics in Business Award honours those who have demonstrated the importance of human values and ethics in the categories of Outstanding Corporation, Outstanding NGO, and Outstanding Individual.
I believe this idea, people who are promoting spirituality understand that the spirituality includes this idea, includes the idea we do something for the other, we are servicing. That will be a way to put a flesh in this skeleton, no? To move this world that need to understand we're a global world where humanity is living together and we have to learn to respect each other.
We want this forum to be action-oriented. We want our efforts to be tangible, substantive, and what we can measure over a period of time. We want to invite you, each one of us, to take the oath of ethics for ourselves. It is easy to say what needs to be done, but I think we can really do it now.
Values and ethical behavior is a kind of a radar for you. It is an opportunity to avoid risks, but also to find the right opportunities.
There are many people doing some very good things, and we want to showcase those items on the World Forum stage.
You know, if we want to survive on this planet for the long term, then we need to really be a very different, caring society for each other and for our environment. And to me, this is one of the core, and ethics can be really the core of that.